know you guys are sick of hearing about Mercedes Mone. Where is she going to go? When is she going to show up? Is it going to be WWE or AEW? This weekend, in fact, we got a major confirmation from AEW that she is indeed in negotiations with the company, with two bombshell tweets that basically confirm that she will be debuting with AEW as soon as of this week. We'll go over what was said this week on social media right here today on Off the Script. Also, the real reason why Kevin Dunn left WWE. MJF may be out for 1 full year. Imagine AEW without MJF all 2024. And Triple H is looking for international allies in New Japan Pro Wrestling. Oh my goodness, man. Tony Khan somewhere is shaking his head saying, no, bitch, you ain't getting anywhere near New Japan Pro Wrestling. All this plus so much more right here on Off the Script. And we will start with Mercedes Mone. She hasn't landed anywhere. She's not going back to New Japan. That contract has expired. And that being said, she has been in contact with AEW. She's been in contact with WWE as well, but those talks fell through. Now, you're not going to hear it from anybody else. Triple H wants her back. I don't give a shit what is being said in the reports about money being left on the table and WWE letting her walk. There is no way that you are to believe that Triple H is not doing anything actively to get this woman back in the company. I don't know what to tell you. Mercedes and WWE, those talks fell through. That's no secret. That's been reported. AEW is in the running right now as the number one, as fans are expecting her to debut with AEW. PW Insider reports that WWE sources noted that several factors, including a change in ownership and the Triple H regime in place for creative, set the stage for the two sides to reset their relationship. Wow. Wow, man. What type of information? That's groundbreaking information, right? Give me a fucking break. Talked about this last year when she left the fucking company. It's not new information. No shit. They didn't want her then because Vince and John Laurinaitis and Bruce Pritchard said, so long, honey, we don't value you. We'd rather have Charlotte. And then her and Naomi walked out over multiple reasons. They went to go do their own thing. And now that Triple H is in charge, no shit, she wants to restart negotiations because she didn't want to work for them, but she has love for Triple H and would love to work with WWE as long as Vince McMahon is not in charge. It also set the stage for her potential return, as we were told via multiple reports. The company would absolutely love to have her back and made that very clear. And that at least early discussions between the sides have happened. Now, PW Insider reported that they have received confirmation that AEW is in contact with Mercedes Mone. This comes after a time when it was said that she and Tony Khan's company weren't discussing anything active about a debut. Tony Khan is always in this storyline mode. He's always trying to work everybody. I mean, he's still out there telling, yeah, I'd love to work with MJF as long as the contract situation works itself out. Motherfucker, the guy you signed. You don't need to play an idiot in front of the media. MJF ain't going nowhere. Give me a fucking break. He's injured. He'll be back after he heals. Mercedes, and the update about Mone is this. Since the initial post, says PW Insider, an AEW source reached out to say the company has absolutely been in contact with Mercedes and said, I quote, if you don't think we are in the hunt, you are crazy, end quote. Now, Mercedes could add a huge boost to the AEW women's division if they can land her. And you see, the AEW is making moves. Moves are being made right now in the women's division. And they are very upfront and center. Sky Blue is all over television. Julia Hart is all over television. We have Statlander and Willow now continuing their storyline. Thunder Rosa is back on television. Toni Storm is the most popular woman in the entire company. She may be one of the best characters in all of women's wrestling, period. And then you got the returns of Jamie Hayter coming up. You got the returns of Britt Baker coming up. Serena Deeb has been getting promos about an upcoming return to television. I mean, AEW, if they want to focus on a nice core group of women, and then they just signed Deonna Purrazzo, and then want to bring in Mercedes, I mean, they are making moves for a reason. They are making moves because they know if they are going to land Mercedes, Mercedes isn't coming into a cold division. She wants to see moves being made around her. She doesn't want to look bad because the representation of Mercedes is going to benefit the AEW brand in the women's division. If AEW doesn't set that division up for success, Mercedes is not going to want to attach her name to that. Simple as that. There's two things that this woman wants. Clearly, she wants to be paid, but I've said it all during her WWE run. She wants creative. She wants creativity. She wants to make moments. She wants things that are going to make her feel fulfilled. If AEW is not going to provide her that, then Triple H will. It's a very simple plan. Create, bring her in, make her happy, show her that you are putting in the effort. It takes very little here, and that's exactly what they're doing. AEW is making moves for a reason in the women's division. If you think it's weird, where's this love for women's wrestling coming from all of a sudden? Look at the influence this woman has, and she's not even there yet. It's crazy. Now, Deonna Purrazzo debuted with AEW this week, leaving many to wonder what is going on with Mercedes Mone. Deonna, bringing her in, is AEW saying, hey, Mercedes, come on, we're doing the work. Come on. We're going to put these women around you. It's going to be a great division. It's going to be the best in the industry. Deonna debuted for AEW this week, leaving many to wonder what is going on with Mercedes. It appears that all hope is not lost on that debut, which could see Tony Khan's company get a big boost for their women's division. Andrew Zarian said this on X this weekend, and he received death threats for it. He says this, and I quote, because the Sasha fans, Mercedes fans, they are absolutely toxic as toxic can be. I mean, these people have no lives. They have nothing to live for. I mean, Mercedes is not going to recognize you, man. She don't even know. Her camp doesn't even know you exist. Get off social media. Just to add a little bit to this, says Andrew Zarian, I have no clue when a debut is scheduled. I have been told it's very soon. Could be next week. Could be a few weeks out. I have no insight currently on a date. And Sean Ross Sapp said to somebody answering a tweet, not leaning towards, they are expecting. Mercedes is expected to go to AEW. I mean, there's going to be a lot of egg on people's faces if Mercedes doesn't end up in AEW. Now, listen, she could very well end up in the Royal Rumble. It's just way too perfect for her to go to WWE and be fitted right into that damage control storyline. She knows this. A WrestleMania match is ready and waiting for her with Bayley against the Kabuki Warriors. She knows this already. Going there is easy. Like, if she goes over there, she ends up over in WWE and ends up in the Royal Rumble, great. I just want to see her back on television because no matter where she goes, it's going to benefit the show. It's going to benefit the company. But if she ends up in AEW, it's going to benefit them too. And it's going to benefit fans. And if you have a problem with where she ends up, that you're giving these guys on social media death threats, don't blame them. Why are they deserving of death threats? Because the fan base is toxic? If you're a Mercedes Moné fan, if you're a Sasha Banks fan, it doesn't matter where she goes. Wherever she goes, if you're a fan of Mercedes, you should watch what she does. Maybe you'll like what she does. Maybe you'll learn something new and find something new that you didn't know about previously. If she goes to AEW, you're going to give up on watching Mercedes wrestle? What, is she non-existent to you? Is she dead to you? She goes to WWE. Is AEW fans going to have a stroke? It doesn't matter. She's going to make her money, and good for her. She's going to create and be creative and get involved with things that she wants to get involved in and love. Good. People are crazy, man. You people are absolutely mental. We'll find out. I don't know if I would not bank, no pun intended, I would not bank on a return to wrestling or a debut with AEW this week. I just don't see it. Daly's place is special. They could absolutely do that there if they wanted. But I don't know what else to say. I'm going to let it just be. I'm going to leave it in God's hands. And whenever she shows up, she shows up. There's no point in losing sleep over where Mercedes Mone is going to end up. It's going to be great wherever she goes. Kevin Dunn. Kevin Dunn, he's gone. Has anybody had Kevin Dunn leaving WWE parties yet? Has there been a massive party in Stamford, Connecticut, man? I didn't get my invitation in the mail. Come on. Kevin Dunn reportedly left WWE because he felt he was disrespected and he was a Vince McMahon guy. No shit. No shit. This was the second most powerful man in the entire company, not named Vince McMahon. Kevin Dunn, who was one of Vince McMahon's most trusted soldiers and was one of the most influential people behind the scenes, oversaw WWE production for years. He recently gave his notice to the company as his tenure ended at the end of 2023, and more details regarding his departure continue to come out. As previously reported, Dunn and his say had been decreased over the last year, plus with McMahon no longer being in charge. Good. His decision to leave came down to the changes being made internally since TKO took over after the merger, with one source noting Dunn was never going to do anything that was dictated to him. Imagine that. Imagine being an old, feeble, disrespectful geek, clown like Kevin Dunn, a child. This child mentality. Oh, I'm not doing that because Vince McMahon is not in charge. He's not here. Imagine that. Get out. He also didn't want to alter the production style compared to how he saw it fit. I mean, I don't know why they felt the WWE production style needed to change drastically. I mean, some minor changes could have been made, but he didn't want to change anything. He thought his way or no way. So, goodbye. PW Insider reports Dunn is done with WWE by his own choice and is not looking to retire from working. Here's a little spoiler, folks. That man was forced out. Honestly, I've only heard for years that as soon as Triple H took over completely and Vince McMahon was no longer there, if Kevin Dunn was still there, that the first man that would be gone from the old administration would be Kevin Dunn. And here we are. Now, people asking about Bruce Pritchard. Is Bruce Pritchard next? Unfortunately, Bruce Pritchard is not next. I've been told that Triple H and Bruce have a great relationship. Go figure. But if he stays out of Triple H's way, then so be it. I guess we can let him live for another couple of years. So, PW Insider reports that Dunn walked away on his own. Instead, he's looking into potential film and television projects. It's not likely he will do anything wrestling related. I hope not. Nobody can take his fucking 16 camera cuts in 30 seconds. Although he was praised when leaving, the report noted Dunn exited because he felt disrespected and was a Vince McMahon guy, as one source stated. Let's be honest, Dunn was the quintessential Vince McMahon guy. They were told the relationship between the two sides has gotten more and more frayed in recent weeks. One source described it as getting uglier even after Dunn gave notice on Christmas week. Goodbye. One of the most cancerous individuals in the entire company, the one guy who basically did nothing to make the show better creatively because he always gave Vince McMahon a yes. It was never a defiant no. Hey, Vince, that's not going to work. Kevin Dunn never had the best interests of the company in heart. He only had Vince. He was brainwashed by Vince, and when he realized that he wasn't going to get away with 99% of what he used to get away with Triple H in charge, he realized that I am no longer needed here. I can't do what I need to do. I'm not going to have that influence. I'm not going to have this company live on in Vince's image. It's too powerful, man. Whatever happened with this new administration, man, they're forcing out all the toxic behavior. They're forcing out all this fucking old guard, and I love it. It's great. So he quit because he couldn't get his way. He quit because Triple H is not Vince McMahon, and he quit because he realized that he had no more power left. Great. Goodbye. You never had the best interest of WWE at heart anyway. With what you see on TV, he always said yes to Vince McMahon. Never a no, never wrong. We don't need those types of people there. And Kevin Dunn being gone, Kevin Dunn quitting. You know, everybody looks at Vince McMahon and his removal as, I didn't believe that was going to happen. Unbelievable. It's the biggest move ever. This move is just as big, if not bigger, because now I want you to realize if Vince McMahon is not there, now you're looking at Kevin Dunn not there. I think we can all sit easy for now, for a long time, and realize if Kevin Dunn is not there, then Vince McMahon really is not a part of anything creatively in WWE if they are allowing him to walk and he is walking out on his own. Goodbye. Nobody's going to miss Kevin Dunn, and I'm sure Triple H already has a prospect in line to take Kevin Dunn's position. WWE, speaking of Triple H, he has discussed a potential ally, a working relationship with New Japan Pro Wrestling. Now, WWE is seemingly open to working with other promotions in 2024. This has always been a thing that Triple H wanted to do. Vince McMahon never wanted anything to do with it, but Triple H has always wanted to do that in his own way. In the past, the company under Vince McMahon has worked with other promotions when it best fit them. WWE previously sent Shinsuke Nakamura to Pro Wrestling Noah to work a match with the Great Muta as part of his retirement tour last year. WWE sent Charlie Dempsey, the son of William Regal, over to All Japan Pro Wrestling to challenge for the Triple Crown title at New Year Giant Series 2024. That was on January 3rd. He ended up losing. And as previously reported, WWE has also expressed interest in working with Stardom, and they are eyeing Julia, and it's being reported that WWE is set to sign Julia this coming spring. Should be noted that Stardom and New Japan Pro Wrestling are owned by Bushiroad. In the latest edition of the Wrestling Observer newsletter, Dave Meltzer reported that Triple H and WWE President Nick Khan could be looking at another ally in New Japan Pro Wrestling. Meltzer wrote, there has been talk internally of them trying to make another go with New Japan now that Hiroshi Tanahashi is the president. AEW and New Japan have a long working relationship that has been strong over the last few years, with them hosting the co-promoted Forbidden Door, which does big business, major business for AEW. And AEW and New Japan also allow talent to work for each company. I will say nothing but this. They can try. They can go and talk to Hiroshi Tanahashi. They are not going to have a relationship with New Japan Pro Wrestling at this time. That is just Meltzer drumming up bullshit for the sake of drumming up bullshit. Tony Khan, as long as he is alive and breathing, would fucking kill if anything happened to that partnership with New Japan Pro Wrestling. He is not going to ever allow Triple H within a fucking phone call distance to get on the phone, Triple H to get on the phone with Hiroshi Tanahashi and New Japan Pro Wrestling. It's never going to happen. Never going. Tony Khan will never, ever allow that relationship to happen. I'd love for one of the media to ask him this question. Honestly, I'd love to see his reply. He'd probably end up laughing at it. Never going to happen. Get it out of your system. Get it out of your head. It's a pipe dream. And if you want New Japan versus WWE or New Japan in WWE, there are reasons why video games exist. Go out there and have some fun in your fantasy worlds. And finally, guys, MJF could be out for close to a year if he decides to get shoulder surgery. The shoulder injury that MJF has been dealing with could leave him on the sidelines for all of 2024. That makes me very sad. MJF worked World's End injured when he lost the AEW World title to Samoa Joe in the main event. Heading into the match, he was dealing with a torn labrum and a hip injury. The hip injury was sustained when he performed an elbow drop off the top rope to the floor through a table on Jay White at Full Gear the previous month in November. Heading into the show, the belief was that he would be taking time off coming out of it, and it was something that was confirmed after the event. A previous update noted MJF was debating whether or not to do rehab or get surgery, although should he get the surgery, AEW will be without him for quite some time. In the latest edition of the Wrestling Observer newsletter, Dave Meltzer reported that MJF is hoping to have it heal through rehab rather than surgery, because surgery would put him out for months, and he was told perhaps close to a year, which he wants to avoid at all costs. For now, MJF and his doctors will determine what direction he goes in with, while AEW looks to build off momentum of Joe as its champion for the first half of 2024. I did not want this to be as bad as it is or sounds like, but MJF is going to do what's best for MJF. Clearly, he doesn't want to take time away because he feels the company on his back is AEW at its best. He wants to do anything and everything in his power to anchor that ship and guide that ship to where it needs to be. And that's just the type of performer that he's become. That's the type of leader he's become in AEW. You know, I can't understand how mentally draining and how mentally difficult it could be for someone that's been in that spot all year to go away for a full year because of injury and see other people take that spot when he knows that spot is rightfully his and he's not ready to give it up. It's a tough thing. I can only imagine. But AEW is in a fortunate situation where they have so many top guys. They got guys like Swerve, guys like Samoa Joe, guys like Kenny Omega, guys like Paige, Bryan. I mean, they got so many top guys there that the AEW brand will be fine without MJF. It's not going to be the same without MJF, but the deep roster that Tony Khan has, it's going to be a little bit easier of a blow to be without MJF. Not completely, and his presence will be missed, but the top talent at the very top of AEW, I mean, it is very, very much. It's plentiful. The thing with this is the story is going to suffer if he's going to remain out for the entire year. Adam Cole is back. He's going to be back, I hope, soon. The fact that they unveiled him as the devil only tells me that he's ready to come back very, very soon. He's going to be on TV. He gave a great explanation. The Undisputed Kingdom is going to run roughshod over AEW television. What I'm concerned with is how AEW Creative takes this story now with Adam Cole being revealed as the devil and apply it to MJF, who might be out for a full year. How is that story going to look in a year? Are people going to care in a year? How is AEW going to look in year 6? We don't know. What's, you know, with this story and how it looked before Adam Cole broke his ankle to where we see it now, it is a completely different story. Completely different story. And I know MJF and Adam Cole and Tony Khan and everybody in creative is probably pulling their hair out about how this story should have went and how it's going to be now with Adam Cole out and MJF out. Where the fuck do they go? It's really going to push the limits of AEW Creative and see, you know, and show us what they're really made of. I don't know where they go from here. I really don't. Does Adam Cole win the world championship? Does he hold the world championship until MJF comes back? I don't know where they go. I have no idea. I'm a man of many words sometimes when it comes to this creative thing. I don't know at all where they go with this. With MJF possibly being out, man, I couldn't tell you. I really couldn't tell you. Hopefully it is something that he can heal through rehab. Adam Cole did the same thing. I believe Adam Cole had a torn labrum and he had it healed through rehab. He did not get surgery. And then, conveniently, he broke his fucking ankle when he got back. Hopefully it's the same type of situation. But I will be praying that MJF gets back soon. They need him. MJF is too much of a top guy to remain out all year, man. I cannot see AEW, you know, following through with this story with the way we need with him out. I can't see it. I can't see it. But all I know is when he gets back, he's going to pick up right where he left off. And I'm looking forward to that when he gets back from this injury. Guys, thank you very much for all of your support. If you enjoyed today's upload, please hit that thumbs up. Let me know what you think down below. Go check out all the other content on the channel. We were live all week. There were extras thrown in there this week. I was live with the SmackDown review on Saturday afternoon. Go and check all that stuff out, all on the homepage. And I will be back with a brand new week of content starting Monday with the Monday Night Raw post show right here on Off the Script. Hit that thumbs up, guys. Let's try for 1,000 likes. Follow me on social media at JD from NY206, X, Instagram, TikTok, and Cameo. And make sure you guys hit that subscribe button down below. We are on our way to 152,000 subscribers. I'll see you Monday, guys. Enjoy your Sundays, and I'll be back with Monday Night Raw post-show right here on Off the Script. I'll see you guys then.